Hey friends, welcome back to your Week 13 NFL picks here on the VegasDon channel. It's just a little something fun we like to do here with our community. No gambling involved, for entertainment purposes only. Last week we went 10-3, which brings us to 66% overall for the year and 46% against the spread. So we're just barely under break even. And also 46% against that over-under, those tools that the casinos use to manipulate and make sure that they end up with the edge after all, no matter whether the favored team ends up winning or winning by not that much, then you know how that goes. Anyway, let's jump right in. Turkey Day. We've got Green Bay traveling into Detroit to take on the Lions. The Kittens are 2.5-point favorites in this one, over under 48.5. I'm inclined to take Detroit at home here on Turkey Day. It's a nationally televised game. They're going to be up for it. I'm sure Green Bay will as well, but I'm inclined to take the Lions here in this NFC North division contests. I think the Lions will win. I think they'll cover over under 48.5. I think this might actually go over on this one. I could see them actually being a little bit of scoring in this. Both defenses are a little bit suspect on certain game days, so we'll see if that holds true. Kansas City at Dallas. Kansas City is favored by 3.5 in the Big D here on Thanksgiving Day. I like the Cowboys in this one. This is my upset pick for the week. I think the Cowboys are going to win. They'll win outright, and 52.5 on the over-under. Both defenses, again, a little bit suspect. But I think that I'm guessing that both teams might actually go over. I usually never go over an over-under on something like this, but because of what happened with both teams over the course of the year and their defenses, I'm inclined to go with the over here. So Dallas will win outright, and I think that they will go over. Cincinnati at Baltimore, the Kittens at the Blackbirds here on the conclusion of Thanksgiving night. Baltimore is favored by 7 in this one over Cincy. Cincy's said to be taking Joe Burrow back. We'll see how he performs, if he performs, in fact. Over under 52.5 in this one. I'm going to go Baltimore, but I don't think they'll cover in this one. I'm probably going to end up being wrong on that, but I think that they will not cover. Baltimore will win, but they will not cover. Over under 52.5. I'm inclined to go with the under on that one. I don't think that this will go over that that threshold like the Chiefs and the Cowboys. And then Friday brings us a rare Friday game at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. Chicago traveling into Philly to take on the Eagles. The Birds are 7-point favorites in this one. Chicago is 8-3 on the season, so it's a very surprising record for them. And honestly, so is it for Philly. Philly dropped one in Dallas last week. I'm inclined to take Philly, but I don't like that line, especially against the Bears. They've been kind of unpredictable this year. So I think Philly will win, but I don't think they will cover. Over under 44.5. I'm inclined to take the over. Again, I think both teams are capable of scoring here, and so I'm going to go ahead and take the over. And then that's going to bring us into Sunday's games, which starts with San Francisco. The 49ers traveling virtually across the country to take on the Cleveland Browns. Browns held on against the Raiders last week, as everyone predicted. But Niners are favored by 4.5 in this one on the road, 37.5 on the over-under. I'm inclined to take the Niners. I think they will win. I think they will cover. Shedeur Sanders, this will be his first loss. 37.5. I'm going to go over. Whenever I see a over under that low, I'm inclined to go with the over. So I'm going to go with the over on that one. Jacksonville at Tennessee in an AFC South battle. Jacksonville is a 6.5-point favorite on the road in Nashville. I'm inclined to take the Jacksonville Jaguars here. I think the Kittens are going to be able to run roughshod all over the Titans all day on Sunday afternoon. I think they'll win. I think they'll cover. Over under 41.5. I'm inclined to go over. I think that Jacksonville's defense is a little bit suspect as well, but I think that they will prevail at the end of the day. Houston at Indy in another AFC South, the other two AFC South teams. Houston is a 4.5-point road underdog in Indy here. Indy is a 4.5-point favorite, and the Horseshoes and the Texans are expected to score a total of 44.5 in the over-under. I'm inclined to take Indy. I think they'll win. I think they will cover. That could come back to bite me. I waffled on that one for a while, but I think that they will win and they will cover. Over under 44.5. I'm inclined to go over. I think that both teams are certainly very capable of scoring, and I think that's what we're going to see here. Miami, my team, here against the Saints. Saints are 1-5 on the road this year, 2-9 overall. Miami's 4-7. but somehow walking away from that number one pick. Not that that would do them any favors, but they're going to be around the middle of the pack probably when it comes time to draft come May. I think Miami will win. I think they will cover over under. I'm sorry, the line here is 6. I think they'll win. I think they will cover over under, and this one is 42.5. I think it's going to stay under. I don't see New Orleans scoring a whole bunch of points, especially in the sun down there in South Florida. And then we've got Atlanta, the Falcons, driving into, or more flying into, the New Jersey area to take on the Jets. Jets are 2.5-point home dogs in this one, over under of 39.5. I'm inclined to take Atlanta. I think they'll win. I think they'll cover. They've been wildly unpredictable this year as well. They're 4-7, but I think they will win. I like them by a field goal here. Over under 39.5. I think it might go over. Actually, the defense on Atlanta's defense is not that good, so I'm inclined to think that both teams might be able to come out and actually do a little bit of scoring there on Sunday afternoon in the Meadowlands. And then we've got the Rams traveling almost all the way across the country to take on Charlotte in the Carolina. The Bank of America Stadium. I was losing it for a while there. The Rams are 10.5-point favorites on the road in this one. Very scary line. I like the Rams. Carolina's been a little wild and unpredictable this year as well. They're 6-6, so you don't know which Carolina Kitty team you're going to get. I'll take the Rams, but I don't like that line. They will not cover. Over under 45.5. I'm going to go over on that over under. That's going to come back to bite me, I'm sure. But I think both teams are certainly very capable of scoring on one another. So I'm going to take that over. And then Arizona at Tampa Bay in another virtual cross country trek. The Cardinals, the Redbirds, are 3.5-point road underdogs in Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is favored by 3.5. Over under 44.5. I'm inclined to take the Buccaneers at home. The question, about the quarterback position. But that's the question for the week. But I think that the rest of the team is still certainly strong enough to be able to defeat Arizona at home. 3.5, that line, that half point scares me a little bit, but I'm going to go with it. I'm going to ride with it and say that Tampa Bay will win. They will cover. Over under 44.5. I'm going to go with the under on that over under. I don't think that Arizona is going to be able to score very much outside of their domed enclave there in Arizona. It's Minnesota at Seattle in the first of the Sunday afternoon games. Seattle's favored by 10.5 in this one over Minnesota. Now, I've walked away from my support of Minnesota this year. They're 4-7. They have been, again, another very wildly unpredictable team this year. They are not the same without Sam Darnold, and this is going to be the Sam Darnold Bowl, right? Seattle, I think they will win. I think they will cover. 41.5 on that over-under. I'm going to go over. I think that's a low over-under, and I think both teams are certainly capable of scoring on one another. So I think that they'll go over on that over-under. The Raiders travel down I-15 into L.A. to take on the Chargers. Chargers are 9.5-point favorites in this one. Ordinarily, I would say that that's a pretty big line. However, this is the Raiders. The Raiders cannot score at all. They've gone through two or three now offensive coordinators this year. They just fired Chip Kelly this week. It's a big Mickey Mouse operation down here at Allegiant Stadium with the Raiders. Pete Carroll, he's living like it's 2015 and it's not. I like the Chargers at home. I think they'll win. I think they will cover. Over under 41.5. I think this will go over. I think the Chargers are just going to have a field day with the Raiders secondary all afternoon. And then that brings us Buffalo at Pittsburgh. This is actually looking to be a pretty good game. Buffalo's favored by 3.5 in this one. That half point scares me. I like Buffalo on the road, but I'm going to go with it, and I'm going to say they're going to cover. Over under 47.5. I'm going to go over on that over under. I think that they're both capable of scoring, and because of that, it's going to be a very high scoring affair. And then we've got Sunday night, Denver traveling into Washington to take on the Commanders, the Washingtons. Denver's favored by 6.5 in this one. I see no reason to believe that they're going to falter here against Washington. I think they'll win. I think they'll cover. Over under 43.5. I'm going to go over on that over under. I'm going with a lot of overs this week. This is very surprising for me. And then Monday night concludes week 13. The Giants travel up the road into Foxborough to take on the Patriots. Patriots are favored by 7.5 in this one. I'm surprised it's not more, to be honest. The Giants are 2-5 away. Maybe that's what's giving the books pause a little bit. But I like the Patriots at home. I think they'll win. I think they will cover. Over under 46.5. I think this one will stay under on that over under. If the Patriots prevail, as I believe they will, they won't need a whole bunch of scoring in order to do it against the Giants. Again, the 66% overall for the year, 66% against this, or 46% against the spread, 46% on the over under. Let's see if we can improve upon that. Maybe get up to 70% by the end end of the year. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you next week. Thank you, guys.